Hello and welcome to podcast 351 of 5 Star Potential, your weekly Football Manager podcast. I'm Duke, and on this week's pod, I am joined by Paul, aka Mad FM, and Dave, aka Dave as a Party FM. I've decided not to do the nicknames anymore, Dave. Well, mainly because Joe's not here to prompt me. How are we doing, gents? We good? Are we well?
You called him something much worse before he jumped on late.
I called him a paedophile. Yeah, I called you a paedophile. And you can bleep that if you wish to, but I was just singing a song about Wilfred Boney, and I changed it to Dave as a Party. It's fine. You can change. You can bleep that.
Oh, so the Adam Johnson chant, but use my name instead.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, on this week's pod, we'll be checking in on how our respective saves are progressing. We have a spotlight on two-striker formation from both a Football Manager and real life perspective, and we'll probably get to that this week as we didn't last week. We're also, since Mad is crying about his delayed audio from last week, which apparently allowed me to win a fucking quiz for once, he's returning to hosting duties, which means we won't be doing a quiz tonight. But apparently it's a topical quiz on famous strike partnerships. Amazing. Okay, before we do that though, gentlemen, 5-star potential social time. What have we been up to? Are we good? Are we well? Are we happy? Any winners? Any losers? Anything you want to add at this little stage? The floor is yours as a party. I mean, you could use this bill to clear your name and say you're not a paedophile, but that's up to you.
Yeah, let's start off with that. I'm not a paedophile.
If you have to say it.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously, it's not been a huge amount of time since we recorded the last pod. Spoilers, but no, I'm playing at Molineux actually later on this month in like a charity match. So
tickets?
There are tickets available. It's like 5 p.m. on a I'll make sure, if I remember, I'll put a link in the description. So if you want to donate, because it's
everybody else. How much?
When injury crisis must be very bad at Wolves.
When can I
be free or like a $5? When there's ticket info, I'll let you know. It's 5 p.m. though on like a Friday, so I don't know if you'll.
Okay, I can make that.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, this next couple of weeks, I'm focusing on cardio. I am on a stag do next week, so it makes it a bit.
Where are you off to?
But, Budapest. Never been before.
No?
That's I think we'll have a pod before then. But yeah, I'm on a week on Saturday. I go there. So yeah, just cardio now. And I played outfield football today. I normally play goal, and it was disastrous. I got an assist, but it was I could, you know, when you like play really bad, you can start to hear like the defenders talking about you, but you can't quite make out what they're saying. And like everyone was being a bit encouraging, but then muttering something after. I was like, oh, no. So
I actually think I
made a joke about it.
I want to come and play.
In the match.
I want to come and play. Yeah, no, with you. And football, not just your testicles. Sorry, Wendy, I know you're listening. I wanna come play. I want to come and show you, like, because you're all right. I don't think you're that good. You're all right.
I'm not good at all. I don't think I'm all right, to be honest. Yeah, we'll have to organise it. Yeah, we need a football manager. We need a football manager match back.
Yeah, we do. Really,
that was a long time. Yeah, that was a very good event. The first one.
Yeah, I think we do. I'll be honest, I am fucking organising it. So if anyone wants to take the reins with that and
the FM community, like the FM community is still big, but I feel it's spread out a lot now. I don't think there's anyone that close anymore. Like other than like mini podcasts like ourselves, there's a few of us, but
we ain't fucking close though. We don't talk any other day apart from the day we record.
We talk every day, pretty much.
I know. Yeah, well, I mean, normally you're in the background of your mum's FaceTimes when I FaceTime her. So yeah, I get that.
Brilliant. Okay, brilliant.
So I'm a paedophile
and you talk to my mum daily. Brilliant. Okay.
Yeah. This is what 5-star pod social time is all about.
Okay, should we move on? Mad, what about you? What's your highlight of the week, my mate? Apart from sorting me a shed out. Thank you very much.
I sorted Dupe out with a shed, so he has a place to sleep at the weekend. So that's bosh. I've been streaming a lot of Football Manager. So you are Dupe. So if you're watching, Dupe is laughing at something, and I don't know what.
Okay, so just before we go any further, a lot of people say that I don't think about things before I say them. I thought about something, I found it hilarious, and I decided it wasn't the right thing to bring out onto the table. So I'm very proud of myself there, but I did laugh at my own joke and didn't produce it. Go on, carry on, man.
Keep that for the bloopers reel at the end of the season.
Oh, I don't think you'll make that either.
No, I think highlight has been streaming. I obviously started a new save, which we talked about on the pod last week, and I've been live, I think, 3-4 times already this week. On Tuesday of this week, I went live twice, and I streamed like 7.5 hours in the one day, which is obviously unusual for me, but it's going really well. The Legionnaire is back, and I think people are enjoying it. Those that like it enjoy it. Those that don't, well.
Sit on the pod with you. It's
Go
amazing
watch
to think. It's amazing to think just how productive you can come on a Football Manager save when you've sent your missus home.
I know, yeah, it's great, and she's back on Sunday, so we'll see.
Expect no more streams after today's pod.
those Twitch subs are going to go really far. No, I've warned her that this time I'm going to be streaming a bit more.
You're back.
She'll be fine. We'll get Sophie on the pod. Okay.
Well, do you know what? Yeah, absolutely. I'm well up for that. She is. How do I put this politely? Banter.
She has got good banter, to be fair.
I have got some hella sound clips and videos. Anyway, right.
He actually does, but that's just because she comes home pissed whenever we record the pod when she's here.
And she tries FaceTiming me at random times in the hour, which I don't understand why that's a thing, by the way.
So we've learned, Dave, he's FaceTiming your mother and my girlfriend.
No.
You're a good friend, Dupe. You're a good friend. You're a good friend.
I've never FaceTimed your girlfriend at all. Your girlfriend's FaceTime me. That's the concerning thing, man.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, talking of streaming, and we'll put this straight. I've been doing a lot of testing. As you can see, I'm in a different room, and we talked about having different internet. I've done a lot of testing this week, and hopefully this podcast comes out on a Monday. I should hopefully be live today. So back with the Cirencester Town saving until my internet crashes. And then we cry. And also this is coming out on Monday, so Thursday just gone, which is actually tomorrow, IRL. It's my birthday, so happy days.
Oh, happy birthday, Dupe.
Yeah, you didn't have to say that. Thanks.
And Nerdphonic.
Yes. So that would have been his 40th birthday today. Oh, that's a shame. God rest his soul. Right. No, in all seriousness, we love you, nerd. Hope to see you soon.
It keeps coming up as a friend suggestion on my Facebook.
Does he?
Add him then.
Is he drumming?
Yeah, drumming, mate.
Yeah.
Drumming.
Yeah. It's strange, isn't it? It's a strange world. I think is Facebook still a thing?
I just scroll
terrible.
through every now and then. See what the
people are doing.
I normally see what my memories are and see whose birthday is. You know, like the memories like that pop up.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to you writing on my wall tomorrow, David. So thank you for that. If you don't, you're not very nice of a mate, are you?
Bring back Bebo.
Oh, fucking hell. I remember being 13 or 14, right? And actually having a proper fisticuff fight with a guy because he was upset that he wasn't in my top 12 mates or top 50, whatever it was, top 16.
Was it Dave?
No, I didn't know Dave then.
No, Dave was like 4.
I think Dave was before Bebo, wasn't he?
I was on Bebo.
You were on Bebo?
Yeah. I had
Bebo
Bebo,
cool.
MySpace, Facebook.
You had them all, didn't you?
Yeah, mate. I was a gaddis back in the day.
How many friends have you got on Facebook? Because I bet you're the sort of guy who just accepts people that you don't actually know.
I've got about 1,200 maybe. No,
I don't even know.
1,400 friends. But I used to just add people from school that weren't even my year. I've got people like 6 years older than me at school. I don't know why. But then they're getting married and there's some people on there. I'm like, who the hell is this?
Jumping back to our previous statement, 6 years younger as well.
And Dave, aka the Facebook stalker.
Little baby reindeer, whatever it's called, that's me. Yeah. What? You watch that now? Okay.
No, I've missed that.
I've
missed that comment.
I've heard of it.
Okay, look, shall we move on?
Yes.
Save updates. We said we weren't going to bring save updates, but let's bring a little bit. I'm gonna start. I've not touched it. I've been doing a lot of testing, like I said. I think I've advanced like 4 days, so I haven't actually got anything to update you on. So next, Dave, you'll go.
I'm no longer.
Can you say I'm a shit host? Fuck me, I'm amazing.
No. I'm no longer at FC Tokyo.
What?
By choice.
So.
Uh-oh.
Why are you doubting? So
his 1,400 Facebook friends are going to hear he got sacked.
No, I didn't get sacked. No, I didn't get sacked. When we last spoke, I was in the quarterfinal. Semi-final. No, it was quarterfinal, and we were just where's the first leg gone? No, it was the quarterfinal. So we won the first leg 5-1. Second leg I actually lost 5-4. I literally played that right after the pod. So comfortable win on aggregate. Carried on with the league. We then got into the semi-final. We played a team called Pohang Steelers from South Korea. Beat them 5-1 first leg. Drew 3-3 second leg. Rubbing my hands together thinking we're in the final. We'll get Al Ittihad. So that's the team, like I said last week, with Mbappe and so on. I thought, shit. So we played them, and at this point, right before this game, so my best left winger, a guy called Rafael Lopez, Portuguese winger, he had a long-term injury, came back, got him back up to fitness, got injured right before the final, so out for both legs. Okay.
Classic.
I thought, brilliant. Okay. So first leg, it comes, and we're at home, but the odds are both teams got the same odds, so both 8-5 to win the game. I thought, oh, okay, no worries. And we go 1-0 up right on half time. Honda, my right winger, scores. I'm like, come on. And then Mbappe scores twice. And it was one of them, every time he got the ball, I was like, no, he's going to do something. But both of his goals, I think the one goal, his XG was 0.95 or something like that, or 0.9, because it was literally on the line and he just tapped it in. But both were the same. And then we got a late goal, so drew 2-2 in the end. So taking it into the second leg, I thought, like we're in it, but at the same time, now we've got to go to Saudi Arabia. We've got to give him a game. At this point, my other left winger, Lucas Felipe, the lad that was firing in the goals that I mentioned last week as well, I was playing him at left mid whilst Rafael Lopez was out. He got a booking and was suspended for the second leg. So at this point, I'm going to have to play like a Japanese guy who, I've got a couple of good left wingers, but nothing in terms of quality, nowhere near what Lopez and Felipe are. So second leg, we go 1-0 down. A guy called Ali Al-Sharif scores in the 7th minute. We then equalised. Giuseppe Romano, my Italian player. But it was weird. Like about 20 minutes in, they got Bastoni at centre half. He got booked. And I thought, if we can just aim at him, one slip up here, he gets sent off, we're laughing. Right on half-time, Bastoni comes in, wins. I think he wins the ball. Referee blows up, sends him off, second booking. So it's 1-1. We're against 10 men. I'm rubbing my hands together thinking, get in. Right on half-time, my other striker, Hosakai, scores 45th plus 1. So we go in at half-time, 2-1 up against 10 men. I thought, get in. We're going to do it. Right after half-time, set piece, whipped in. They flick it on and score. And I thought, shit, the only way they were going to score was from a corner. And then they then go on and score a third to make it 3-2, half an hour to go. I took absolutely everything at them and could not break them down and ended up losing the game. So on aggregate, we lost 5-4. I was devastated because against 10 men, I think, I don't know, because part of me thinks when you're against 10 men, you can still attack and try and kill the game off. In hindsight, at halftime, I should just park the bus. But I thought if you're sitting 11 men behind the ball with Mbappe in front of you and you're allowing Mbappe space and time to shoot, you're going to get punished. So,
what age did you say he was? Is he 35?
Mbappe now. Well, regardless, so he's 35, 36, yeah.
Still unreal. But
unbelievable. And he'd scored 45 goals in 50 games in all competitions. Like, he's just been phenomenal. So at that point, I thought, fuck's sake. Like, I've built FC Tokyo, unbelievable, by the way. Like, such a strong team in Japan. We dropped a few points already in the league. A lot of injuries. It was starting to frustrate me a little bit. And I thought, I'll have one eye on the market in terms of jobs to see if anything's coming up in South America or whatever. The job came up, my old team, Bragantino. I thought, I'm tempted. But they were in the Sudamericana, so they weren't in the Copa Libertadores, which is the South American Champions League. And I just have a flick through, and then Palmeiras came up. Now, when I was in Brazil, Palmeiras were like unbelievable. They were very, very strong. They kept winning the league when I was there. So I had a look at them, and they were struggling a little bit in the league. They were like mid-table in the league after about 12 or 13 games. And they were in the knockout stages of the Copa Libertadores. So I thought, okay, I'll have a look at that. Looked at it. They offered me an interview. They got 52 million budget, whereas at Tokyo was got 2 or 3 million and we were in the red. 50 million budget, 1.8 million. They got about £1 million more than what I had in Japan as well. And I thought, man, this could work. I had a quick look through some of their squad. They got really good players. So ultimately, it took a while, but basically I got the job at Palmeiras and I thought, I'll take it. I know Tokyo, good. I created a really good team there, and maybe I should have stayed for one more year and given the Asian Champions League another bash. But I need to win another piece of silver. I need to. So I've gone to Palmeiras for now. So like I said, they're sort of mid-table at the moment. My first game in charge, I won 5-1. Like it was 1-1 at half. I've got Jean Durant still playing, the lad that's at Villa at the moment. Yeah. At the moment, he's 31, so he's still not young, but still relatively okay in terms of age. And he was always quite good when I was managing Bragantino. He scored 4 goals in that game. It was 1-1, and we were really struggling to get into the game at halftime. Then we ended up winning 5-1. But I talk about the budget. So I've got a 52 million budget, 1.8 wage budget. But the overall balance of the club is minus 51 million. They're 51 million in the red. So we're about to have a January transfer window, like mid-season transfer window, sorry. I might just spunk as much money as I can, regardless of how much we're going into the red, just to try and win this Champions League here. Because if I could do a 6-month jobby where I go in, grab the trophy and run out, then happy days. The squad's strong enough. I've got some good players, and because we're a Brazilian team, I think we've got every chance of winning it. But I think we play Corinthians, who are currently top of the league. We play them across 2 legs. So we'll wait and see, but our fingers are crossed. But it's a big, big jump.
2 things, David.
Yeah.
Number one. Number one, you have taken that long to get somewhere and do something. Is Endrick now like retired, or can you bring him back to Ramirez?
Let's see. I reckon he's still playing with Dave as a party at Real Madrid, mate. Endrick is at Man City, mate, and he's only 28, but he's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe
saying that he's only just joined Man City. He played for my history's botched in it. So he played for Real Madrid, obviously, and then he moved to Man City at some point. Moved to Man City for 161 million.
Bowser. Okay, second point I'd like to make is you need to check the Champions League registration rules, because I think you're only allowed a certain amount of squad changes. So before you say you're going to go spunk a load of budget, I think you're only allowed to change your champions in Brazil like maybe 3 times or 3 people.
Yeah,
just as an FYI.
Yeah, I've got 2 spaces anyway. So I think I'll be okay. I mean, the squad's strong, but I'll probably just bring in quite a few good players on loan or something. The squad's good.
Just trying to fucking out, mate.
Yeah, no. But yeah, it's all right. But there's got some good players. There's a guy up front there who's like a really good player at 25. But yeah, I don't know. It's a risk. I had a really good team at Tokyo, but we were starting to do my head in a little bit. So, and I just want to win another piece of silverware.
Dave, we're 6 months into FM24.
Ah, here we go.
Silverware count is. The silverware count is.
Oh, 1 Champions League. Yeah.
Okay. And therefore you need another
4. Yeah, but you know how it falls into place very quickly.
I'm kidding.
David, all you have to remember, sorry man, I'm just going to butt in here. All you have to remember is this man below stated that he was going to go win a Champions League. Matt, how many Champions League have you won this year?
Give it time. South Shields on the rise.
No. That was
Shields on the rise.
Dave answered your question. This year, how many Champions League have you won?
I have won none. Just a quarterfinal.
My point.
My real question, Dave, is
Your Honor.
So my camera's going out of focus. My real question, Dave, is: would you be happy if this is your only save for FM24 before FM25 comes out? Yeah.
Yeah. That was my plan anyway. I was hoping I'd finish it a bit sooner, but I don't know. I think if I can win this now, I can just crack on. Either move back to Asia, which it's going to be tough, because I'd have to almost rebuild again, especially after 6 months, unless miraculously the FC Tokyo job comes back up. I'll have to rebuild. Or I think my next move is going to be maybe looking at Mexico or the US. Probably Mexico, to be honest. But no, I'm 11 years into the save. I think it took me 25. I think it took me 25.
Yeah, I think it was 20. It was 25 last time. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like it's like you're like in that universe, so much is going on. You're covering so much ground, different teams, different league rules. Like it's so much going on. You're picking up so much.
Sorry, that's just the sound of Mad backing up there.
No. It was I suppose because I've just started a new save. One of the things in my mind was, do I want to keep doing the same one until FM25? And that's why I changed it.
What?
Did you know Mad started a new save?
Segue.
He hasn't mentioned it at all.
This beef's getting personal. I had someone say to me, "Is like the last pod was weird." I said, "Why?" And he goes, "Like the beef between Mad and Dupe seemed really personal."
It is.
Seriously.
Yeah.
We love each other.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a love-hate relationship. Mad loves me and I fucking hate him. Talking
He's
about
very
loving
nice to
Mad.
me, Dave. He's very nice to me when he's after a new fucking garden shed and he gives me 3 days notice and he wants it by the weekend.
Oh,
Like,
for you. I
God.
thought that was a joke. You've actually got me shit.
No, legit.
Legit. Yeah, legit.
It's the kind of guy I
yeah.
am.
Yeah, he's just,
Sorry, dude. Yeah.
that's fine. No, I appreciate it. I paid him. I very appreciate it. I think I actually rounded it up as well. So I think you earned out of that. So you might have got a €3 out of that. So
Yeah, and the money came from your wife's account.
yeah, of course it is. Not my money. Anyway, as I was going to say, talking about Mad not winning the Champions League, should we not starting a new save? Should we talk a little bit about your new save because you have been live as we've seen, and you've got a few days now before this pod comes out. You could actually be sacked by then as well, right? It's going a bit ropey for you, or are you doing well? You turned it round.
No, there's nothing to turn around. We'll start with that. But that doesn't mean I won't be sacked, and I'll tell you why in a minute.
Takeover.
Yeah, start a new save. I haven't mentioned it already, blah, blah, blah. I won't be winning a Champions League with South Shields, starting off in the Vanarama National North, Tier 6. And also, not to mention, this is a region air save, so we can only sign players that are local to the area in the northeast. So it's echoes of Northern Boys as we had before. But for me, I wanted to go lower league. It's been a long time since I went way down the tiers. I didn't want an edited database. I just didn't want to mess around. So I just went as low as you can go in the English leagues. And we landed in South Shields. Dave, you mentioned a 52 million budget at Palmeiras.
You got
15k. 15k.
Still better than me,
Shields. Yeah. And we had one player, actually, when I loaded up the save, I had one player, Gary Liddle. He's former Bradford centre back, 37 years old, earning 1.5k, 10% of our weekly. Go on, make the joke.
I just want to know what his middle eye was like.
Yeah.
Have you got Liddles where you are, man?
He's got Paul Sainz. He's up top. It's Irish.
Yeah.
Isn't it an Irish shop?
No, it's German.
No, it's German. Very German.
Very German. That's why it's such straight lines and they make you march in between.
Dave must have seen some Guinness on sale in there or something and just assumed.
Probably.
It
wouldn't be called Guinness there.
Guinness potato. Yeah. Gownis. It's Gownis.
It'll be called
what they call Dr. Pepper there? They got some mad name for Dr. Pepper.
No. It basically, Lidl. I'm on the Lidl naming team. It's just me trying to pronounce its normal names. That's all it is.
Guinness, yeah.
Guinness, yeah. So yeah, that chief was on. We still have him because we couldn't offload him. But basically, his weekly wage is 10% of our entire weekly wage budget. So we need to get rid of him as fast as we can. But I had two problems with trying to offload players. So obviously, we're trying to only have Northeast players coming in, which I'll talk about in a minute. So we're trying to offload a few kind of players we won't want or non-Northeast players. But nobody really wanted them until I had to just start offloading players for free because the board kept blocking any of the mutual terminations I was doing. The reason I was doing them was to try and free up some wage budget because we couldn't bring anyone in. So that's fun. The other thing that happened, I'm probably skipping ahead, but the other thing that has stopped me trying to offload players is very early on in the save, we've had a takeover in progress. It has not been completed. I think it's been about 2 months that we've been waiting for it. We've got several notifications that the takeover talks are on the rocks. Talks are back on, talks are off, talks are on. But throughout all this complete embargo, we can't speak to the board, we can't do anything. Nobody can come in, nobody can come out. So that's a bit of a challenge because obviously we were trying to bring players in. What's a little bit fun and different and is a bit of a throwback, there's no transfer window. Only in the month of April, I think you can't sign players, but you can sign players throughout the year, which is helpful in a way. So we did bring in a few transfers, only spent money on one player. His name is Liam Noble. We needed a DM. He's 32 and he had good aggression and tackling, and that's all you need to qualify to be a DM in South Shields. And then other than that, a couple of loans. One loanee in from Sunderland, Zach Johnson, centre back, and then a left wing back / wing, like left winger, Sam Collins from Middlesbrough. Went to a lot of effort to free up the money to pay Sam Collins' £400 per week's wage. And then he got injured for like 6 weeks, which is typical. And then two other free transfers like Josh Harrison, Luca Murphy, all local lads. And they're both starting, and Josh Harrison actually scored quite a few goals so far. We do have two very good strikers. One is on loan from Newcastle when you start to save, Dylan Stevenson, arguably the best player in the league, and has got off to a really good start. And yeah, like so far so good. The games come so fast. I guess because it's a 46 game league. I've been flying through the games and obviously streaming it all the way. We've played 21 games so far to date. Very on and off. And I had a bit of a luck modifier incident, I reckon. I streamed on Tuesday in the afternoon and I didn't win a single league game. I think I played 5 or 6 league games. We won 2 cup games against lowly opposition, then got knocked out. Then I went live that same night and we won like 3 games in a row and then won another 4 games in a row with a defeat in between. So real ups and downs. But long story short, after 21 games, we're currently 5th in the league. Buxton are absolutely running away with it. They're on 50 points. So we're in 5th on 41. We're 9 points off top, but we do have a game in hand, which is quite nice. And yeah, the only silly things that I've had is I've put on, I mentioned on Twitter, I put on up a GIF of a goalkeeper trying to head a ball. The same goalkeeper has missed several attempted kind of punches or catches, and his distribution is shocking. We ended up dropping that goalkeeper and bringing in the under 18 goalkeeper who is not that good. And he saved 2 penalties in the shootout in the FA Trophy at the age of 18. And then we've another 17-year-old striker we've started to give a bit of runtime up front, and he just scored his first goal for South Shields as well. So bringing in some of those young players, which is always fun. But yeah, I need to get this embargo sorted because I can't do anything, literally. And I suppose to close the loop on why maybe I could get sacked. It's possible that a new board can come in and just sack you on the spot, right? I've had that maybe 3 FMs ago in an offline save. Has that happened to you lads? Where the board comes in and just says,
I've seen it.
I've seen it. I've not had it happen personally.
No, I've only ever seen it if it's like a fan forum one. So as long as it's not that,
that's what I have.
Fine.
That's exactly what I have. He knew that.
Yeah,
you were in the stream.
I was in the stream.
You were in the stream.
So I think you'll be all right, especially if you're. What's your season preview? Are you doing above what you expected?
Yeah. So, and this is another thing I was talking about on stream. I think we were predicted to finish 7th when the save started, even though we just got promoted. But it changes as you progress when you sign players and play games. Because I'm up to 5th now in the preview, but it was 7th when it started. Have you ever noticed that?
It's really slow though. It's really slow. I've noticed. Yeah. Like at the end of last season, when I was being promoted from League 2 to League 1 with Siren, it was like 3 weeks before I wanted to see whether my promotion odds was on there, and I was currently third. I could only ever finish 5th, and the media predicted me to finish 20th. So it must lock out sometime, and whether that's when the transfer window shuts, I don't know, but it locks out at some time.
Yeah, it's an odd one, and I think there's one screen that shows you the number, like it'll say 13th, but then when you go to the actual league table with the odds, maybe that's a bit more dynamic. But I think it was 7th when we started, so we're ahead of that as it stands. So I'd like to think we'll be safe, but you just never know at this game, genuinely.
You never know.
We'll see. Yeah. A lot of games, a lot of injuries. At one point, I had 3 of my 4 wing-backs injured for a good month, so it's a bit all over the place, especially with the frequency of games. But it's fun. We continue.
What system are you still sticking with the 3 at the back?
Still have the 3 at the back, yeah, with the 2 wing-backs. I've been 2 strikers, only 2.
Oh, I knew that.
Nice.
Except when we're losing.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm only kidding. No, we've gone 2 strikers, and we actually have 2 DMs at the moment. We've dropped those 2 midfielders back because we were leaking goals, big gaps.
As you mentioned, 2 strikers just out of the blue, I think it's a good time for us to move on to our spotlight, which is a 2-striker system. Because back in the day, well, Dave, probably not yours, but definitely mine and many of our listeners and definitely Mads, 2-striker systems were all the rage, and they were rare. We didn't see a top Premier League or European side rocking their own 2-striker partnerships. Often the big man and little man, the Dupe and Curtis. But some of the best sides of that era built their success on having a formidable striking duo spearheading their attack. Think of Shearer, Sutton at Blackburn, York and Cole at United, Henry and Bergkamp at Arsenal, or Raul and Morientes at Real Madrid. Can you think of 2 at Newcastle? Les
They always
Ferdinand
change. You see.
and
Shearer and one other.
Andy Carroll and
Demba Ba
And
and
Leon
Papa
Best.
Cisse.
yeah,
Demba Ba and Papa Cisse were a banging duo, by the way.
Streets
David,
nothing.
what about Wolves? Who's your two striker format
Um,
system?
Ebanks, Blake, and Chris Ulimo.
Okay.
Steve Bull and name another
Robbie
striker
Keane.
from Steve Bull and Robbie. That was only a short period, but yeah, that was a good one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nowadays, modern day tactics seems to prefer a lone striker up top, using talented wingers or inside forwards to add goals and attacking threat alongside the front man. So, based on this, we thought we'd have a chat about some of our favourite strike partnerships of years gone by, and why that we think they worked, and what seems to have been phased out, and most importantly, how we'd like to each deploy two strikers in Football Manager and see how it would work in that system in game. So, Mad, as it's your spotlight, I'm going to let you start here and you tell us about your two strikers and how you would implement them into this game at the moment.
Yeah, and the reason this triggered me with the whole two striker thing, two reasons. One was when I was watching the Newcastle Sheffield United game. Sheffield United started like a house on fire, and they had Ben Brereton Diaz and I think it was Cameron Archer up front, and Newcastle just didn't know how to handle it. And then I was just thinking, it's not often you have like two strikers kind of running at you, and Sheffield United were like playing the ball into feet, playing the ball over the top. And obviously that just got me thinking, yeah, maybe these defenders just aren't as used to playing two strikers, because not like, if you think about it top of your head really quickly, not many Premier League clubs are rocking two strikers. It's all about the players that are cutting in from the left and the right. And then the second one, obviously, as I mentioned in my own tactic, because I'm playing two striker formation, first time in a few seasons I've done that. And usually it's like, your lone striker up top in a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 or whatever you want to call it. So that's what triggered me to think they just don't make them like they used to. Sorry, Dave, I know it's way back before you, Rip Steve Bull.
Sorry to butt in, but like when you look at that top six we've got there at the moment, obviously probably City have got two competent strikers with Alvarez and Haaland, but they don't play them together. They wouldn't work together.
But back in the day, they would.
Yeah, but they wouldn't nowadays because of the way that they want to play. When they've got Grealish and they got Bernardo Silva, or they got Foden and Grealish on either wing, all they want to do is cut in. Is it because the wingers are causing that to stop, or is it the fact we don't have two decent strikers that would work together nowadays?
They were talking about it on, I think it was the Rest is Football, because obviously Lineker and Shearer on the same pod, and they were talking about like how there's just not as many number 9s out there compared to how many like inside forwards, 10s, whatever you want to call them, attacking midfielders that there are. And it's just the way the game has evolved. Pep has obviously probably a lot to say about that as well. But like as you said, with that top six, they all have the strikers, but they would never play them together. And it's an evolution and a choice that they won't work together. It's not that someone couldn't come along and say, right, we're going to do 4-4-2 and play Haaland and Alvarez up front. It's a tactical choice not to do that, and therefore use Foden, use Bernardo or Doku or Grealish in a different way. So yeah, it's just like I said, just don't make them like they used to. And because I hadn't done it in Football Manager for a while, I was sitting down and I was like, okay, what the hell am I going to do here? I've got two quite strong strikers. Obviously, one is Dylan Stevenson on loan from Newcastle, and then another guy, Paul, what's his name, Blackett. And I was like, I have no idea what to do here when I first started looking at it. And I landed on basically Dylan Steven as a poacher, because he's just got better finishing, better off the ball movement, and he's just more quality, I guess. And then I had Fletcher as the advanced forward, because he's just a bit more mobile, I guess. But again, as I said, I suddenly realised I just don't have a whole lot of experience deploying two strikers in FM, because it's just been a good few seasons since I've done it. And that's why I thought it'd be good to hear what you lads obviously do or have been doing. I was very tempted to try a target man. I just didn't have one. And I like the idea of playing, the old-fashioned quick striker off of a target man. So it's something I might look at doing if I can bring in someone who's a target man, especially in Tier 6. That's what I'd really like to get towards. Target man alongside a quicker, kind of more mobile striker. I think we can get that going in the match engine.
Yeah, I've sorry, dude. I've sort of stuck with the same system all throughout the game, and that's been a 4-4-2, very traditional, very flat 4-4-2. And to be honest, I've just bought players based on that. I think when I first started, I played with a double advanced forward, and it seemed to be working okay. But then I saw the success Joe was having with Family Cow with a pressing forward next to an advanced forward, and I thought I'll try that out, and it kicked on from there. I think it was at Super Sport at the time, and that worked quite well. So ever since then, I've there's no sort of rhyme or reason in terms of who grabs the goals either. I'd say the advanced forward probably just about nicks it, just in general, because he is literally more advanced. He's the last man pretty much, and he's the one that gets fed by either the wingers or by the pressing forward himself. But that's what I focused on really. I think advanced forwards are so easy to buy on Football Manager because as long as they've got
standard striker, right?
Exactly, as long as they can finish, half decent composure, a bit of pace about them, or whatever, sound. Whereas the pressing forward's a bit different because they sort of need all of that, but they need the work rate as well. And there's so many strikers that, like your Haaland, for argument's sake, this is probably a bit disrespectful because he does work hard, but you don't see him do. If you can't get the ball to his feet, sometimes he's absolutely invisible in the game. I don't know what his work rate is on FM. I'd assume it's higher than like 9 or 10 for argument's sake. And he's got a lot more to his game than that. But with Football Manager, I think that work rate for the pressing forward is quite important. But that's how I've played, and it's worked quite well. But the pressing forward still gets a lot of goals. If you can get 5.5 decent, it works quite well. But
what you playing them on? What like defense, support, or attack?
I think they're both attack. I would assume.
Because I find with
pressing forward
attack,
support. Pressing forward support.
I find with support, because I rock the same, Dave. AF attack, PF support, and I do find with the support that, especially because I like to play with my shoot less often on. But with the support, I do always find that he does seem to look for that advanced forward. So I never actually look for a pressing forward that can score goals, if that makes sense, as a striker.
Yeah.
But more of a guy that's a link up. And he will obviously press and do all that he needs to do, but he does actively look, and it is quite interesting to watch, especially on that support duty. And I do think you find a big difference. But yeah, it's a hell of a pairing up top.
Yeah.
So advanced forward, you're both a combination of advanced forward and a pressing forward. So if I was to say to you, who might that compare to in terms of a real life strike partnership?
I reckon
if you were to think back over some of the obvious ones.
Think back.
This is a proper niche one. And I don't know if like people probably correct me, and I think they both probably had a bit more, maybe like Vardy and Okazaki back in the Leicester days, when they won the league. I don't know if I'm sure. I don't know if I'm making it. I swear, Okazaki was just a bit of a live boy.
He was, yeah. I would say kind of my instance would be Wayne Rooney and Cristiano Ronaldo, because Rooney was sitting deeper. He was pressing. He was doing that, and he would always look more for Ronaldo. And I know Ronaldo was very much a winger, but he was very much that kind of striker winger, wasn't he? Especially that kind of. All I can just imagine them in is the 2008 kit with the AIG, and that Bolton goal, and that sort of that. Yeah. I mean, we've been very lucky in my club. We've got some incredible partnerships. To be fair, one year we had 2 amazing partnerships. Anyway,
you did 4 in the treble-winning year.
99. Obviously, York and Cole and Teddy and Ollie. And again, that old 1999 kit with the Umbro down the sleeve just reminds me of York and Cole 9 and 19. It just takes me straight back. I had Andy Cole on the back of my shirt.
The dream.
The one that came
to my mind when you were describing the advance and the pressing together was maybe like Suarez and Sturridge.
Yeah, that's a shout to be fair.
Sturridge doing a hell of a lot of running and closing down, but also chipping in with a shit ton of goals as well. So
that was
interesting to try and compare it to what happened.
I think you could. Matt, you could probably say that as well about Suarez and Messi at Barca.
Yeah.
Again, I know they played in like a front three if you include Neymar in that, but Suarez did a lot of the heavy lifting in that relationship, and Messi took a lot of the plaudits. But I mean, I don't like Suarez as a human being. I think he's a fucking wanker. But as a footballer, he is outstanding. And it pains me to say that as an ex-Liverpool player, and a fucking racist. But apart from that, he's a great footballer. But like I said, he doesn't. I don't think there's many footballers that could bite somebody, be racist, and still get the plaudits that he gets because he's that good of a player. And that's not me vindicating what he did, by the way. That's just me stating as a fact that, But that pair, I've just Googled it now. The pair racked up over 800 goals when combining their tallies for Barcelona.
Yeah, but Messi was probably like 700.
Yeah, still impressive, mate. Me and Messi have got 792 goals between us before Barcelona on that rule. So, but I just think there's a few there. I also kind of stay in with Spain and La Liga. I'm trying to pin what Benzema and Ronaldo would have been, because Benzema, as much as he was a bit of a workhorse, he still was like a hell of a finisher.
Yeah.
And another striker that really doesn't get the respect on his name. Like he was quality. But yeah, I think there was some.
I think as a front two, sorry, going back to even like a more recent one for Wolves, we had Jota and Jimenez when they played as a front two. I think Jimenez worked hard, but Jota was like a little terrier man. He chased after everything. So I think something like that, and then those two had a great combination. But yeah, I think if people are listening and have got any other combos that fit those particular two roles, then just give us a shout, because I'm sure there's loads out there.
There's just not that many. There's not that many in the Premier League, I suppose. Especially, we're all like, obviously Premier League is the main league that we probably watch and talk about. You see a bit more when you start to look around the European leagues. It's just interesting how it's almost phased out.
The only thing I will say, as much as you say it's not in the Premier League, I think it is. And this is a bold shout, and I can only link this to my team. So my team do not play two strikers. Yeah. No chance. We barely have one striker, to be honest. But the role that Bruno Fernandes plays, he is so high up the pitch. He supports the striker almost like a pressing forward. And Højlund is literally more of a target man as such. But again, he is quite an aggressive striker as well. That when you watch them, actually without watching the game, but just watching them, their positioning of Bruno, he is quite late into the box, which does mean he's more kind of he's a deeper starter. But his final kind of movement and his final play is as a paired striker. So I'd like to know, like with Foden as well over at City, very similar. You see how many goals Foden scores for City and how much their partnership with Haaland. Is it just that we are now seeing that evolution of change? And as much as you're going to hate to hear this, the shadow striker is actually more of a striker than we think it is.
Well, and it was a question I had on my mind. I was looking at the current striker roles in FM. It's a little bit rigid. They've been there a long time. They've never really evolved. And then, as you said, like the number 10 role is much more of a midfield role, I feel, in Football Manager. Even though you do have shadow striker, I feel like it doesn't deviate that much away from attack midfielder. So maybe there's an opportunity there to look at that.
Look at Arsenal. Currently top of the Premier League. Pains me to say. Maybe not when this podcast comes out. Fucking hope not when this podcast comes out. But look at them. They don't have a striker. And they've scored the most goals in the Premier League.
But this was City before Haaland as well. Yeah. Same, remember?
They don't have a striker. And I'll tell you this now. If Haaland and Foden both went up for sale, I'd be interested to see who would be paid more for. If Ødegaard went up for sale, and whoever's next in line, or Ollie Watkins or whatever, went up for sale again, like that number 10 is so important in that role that the quality of chances that are being created, honestly, I think Dave could finish one or two of them.
Probably not.
Not based on what he told us about his football.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Evening.
Oh yeah, fair point.
So here's one for you, Dupe. Just because it's obviously close to home for me. We've just got Callum Wilson back fit at Newcastle, right? And last season there was this big desire to see Wilson and Isak on the pitch, but not so much Isak on the left, to just see them both up top. Now, they're not similar in terms of profile, right? Wilson is very much, 99% of his goals scored in the box, instinctive finisher. Isak is very mobile, a lot more runs, splitting defenders, playing off the shoulder. But he also takes the ball with his back to goal. If you were an FM, how would you play those? Because I feel like the instinctive thing to say is that it wouldn't work in real life. Is that because football has evolved and defenses have evolved, and Newcastle would suffer by not having three in midfield, for example? No, and it just feels like it would be hard to get it working.
No, it would
not
work.
in FM, but in real life.
Even in real life, I think you play Wilson on the last man. So we're talking real life now, yeah. So you play Wilson on the last man. You tell him to hug the shoulder. Always want to see the number of the centre back that's marking him. So in behind him, on that last man, and then you play Isak out on the left as an inside forward attack. It's the only way.
That brings an end to this week's pod.
No, you could like in terms
You
of
can't.
FM, it's not a role that people tend to use, but you could have Isaac as a complete forward and then Wilson either as an AF or like a poacher. It's not roles that would necessarily work in FM, but I think that would be.
If you were to do it, the only way I would see logical sense, and this is going to go out and hate the purists are going to hate me for this, is asymmetric. Is offset them, set Wilson through the middle and Isaac off the left, but as that striker, and then play him in that role, it will probably work. You would have to probably load him with some player instructions on that. You know, ask him to stay a bit wider, runs wide with the ball, let him roam from that position, move into channels, but kind of give him a bit more freedom from that role. And you could even play him as
Bergkamp and Henry? Is this similar to Bergkamp and Henry?
Yeah, but just minus the
Henry on the left.
Parking
exactly that, but the concept conceptually.
Bergkamp,
less
Bergkamp,
mobile
Henry,
in the middle all the time.
You know, probably an earlier Ronaldo and Berbatov, Ronaldo and Tevez sort of style, where Ronaldo was out on the left cutting in. I think there is stuff you can do with that, and I know a lot of people don't like the asymmetric stuff, but I think you'll see a lot from Isaac playing in that left of the three, with Callum Wilson playing up the middle. You definitely.
It's just a question of then, if we think about FM, like Dave said, would they work together? Would a poacher or an advanced forward work with a complete forward? Because sometimes my notion would be, should a complete forward be a lone striker? Do you know what I mean? In terms of how it's set up in FM.
Should a complete forward be a lone striker? You're asking a lot from the complete forward, right? So you're asking him to be big, strong, tough, and being able to finish. But I still don't see how that would have to be a lone striker. You are asking for a lot, so it's probably it'll be difficult in the position that you're in, for example, in South Sea in Van Armen North. But I still think if you could have a complete forward on attack, get them to really spearhead that line, trying to make as much chances as possible for himself, but also again do the shoot less often. And I think that would work well in a pair. He'll be your figurehead. He'll be the one that's running the line. But then you could also have somebody with him, again, off-centered would probably work quite nice. But I'm not somebody... I used to play complete forwards 18, 19, and I haven't played one since then. Probably the Forest Green days is when I last played a CF, but that's probably because the PFs come in and they were so strong.
Yeah. This is why the two-striker formations are... They're losing the love. We need to get them back.
I think there's two striker partnerships that we've not mentioned, and I think they deserve it. Now we've mentioned two of the players on the first one, but not together. It's taking me back to Tottenham. I can't think when, but I just remember the long hair, the Alice band, and then the cartwheel. So I'm going to say Robbie Keane and Dimitar Berbatov.
Oh, yes.
Were a great little duo. Completely absolute opposites in attributes, but yet both just work so well together.
That's been great. Didn't they have Defoe at the same time? And Pavlyuchenko at the same time.
It's only for one season, though. I think Berbatov left this following season, so I think Keane and Berbatov might have only had a season together.
And then the other one, which is probably one of the most memed strikers in the Premier League, and I do feel a bit sorry for him. I've just Googled it. 171 goals this pair have bagged in the 5 years together. It is the ultimate little and large duo, Emil Heskey and Michael Owen. Like,
no one
honestly,
talks about
no one talks about Heskey enough.
Michael Owen once he was quoted as saying that Heskey was his favourite strike partner, England, club, country, whatever. He loved playing with Heskey.
Yeah.
Heskey was a good player. He just...
do you know, the only thing I ever remember from Heskey is scoring in the 5-1 against Germany, and I must have been like 9 or 10 and just remember seeing him score.
I think he was quite selfless. He like, players thrive playing alongside him. Shearer was the same with Amiobi. He liked playing with Amiobi because Amiobi wasn't there to score goals. He would do the hard work, battling defenders, taking the ball down and then setting up Shearer. Don't Google too much anyway, Duke, because there may be a little quiz.
I'm just sorry. It's only because we're talking about it. So let me just... So one I've just seen here, which is probably the most recent one, and that's why it's just popped up, man, is Inter Milan and a homage to Conte with his 3-5-2. winning the league title in 2021 with Romelu Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez.
Yes.
And again, little and large, brute and fucking quality. So yeah, do you know what? I like that. That was good fun, Mad. It makes a change that you contribute something actually pretty decent to the podcast.
That's okay. I'm going to ruin it.
Talking about not contributing anything decent, it's time for the quiz. I've just closed Google down, Mad, so don't panic.
Good.
I didn't know that's what we were doing.
Yeah, I did mention it was topical.
So
we're going to stick with the theme.
Did I not?
No, it's fine. We'll stick with the theme though. It's fairly related to two striker formations, but this is really relating to goal scoring duos of the Premier League era. So what I have in front of me are the top 10 goal scoring duos of the Premier League era since the old 92-93 season. So basically, it's the same players playing for the same club who scored the highest number of goals that season combined. From highest to lowest, and I'll alternate between you lads to see if you can guess a pair that's in the top 10 of the last 30 odd seasons, whatever it is. Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Duke's confused.
No,
a duo that have scored the most goals in one season.
No. It's because I've got one straight on my top of it. I'm just thinking I got one definitely. So go on whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so let's say they were the top scoring duo every season. So if you were to line up the 30 seasons, each season would have a top scoring duo, and then I've listed them.
Brilliant.
Top 10.
I'm glad you told us that. Yeah, I've got it.
Right, for that, Dave, you can go first.
I'm thinking one that it made news, I'm sure, a couple of years ago, Son and Kane.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Okay.
So this is goal scoring. Son and Kane did make news for goal contributions combined and linking with each other, i.e. setting each other up. But they are not in the top 10 of total goals scored in a season.
Oh, dear.
Over to you, Dupe.
Oh, shit. Okay, I was going to go
Same.
for the team, them, and a duo that got overtaken, which was Drogba and Lampard.
That's a shout.
Drogba and Lampard are third on the list for Chelsea in the 2010 season. 51 goals combined, 29 for Drogba, 22 for Lampard. Gets you a point. David.
I will say Cristiano Ronaldo and Wayne Rooney.
Cristiano Ronaldo and Wayne Rooney are not in the top 10 together.
See, there was one year when United, I think it might have been Ronaldo's last year. I'm sure he was top scorer. And I thought Rooney would surely have a decent amount of goals as well.
So the season where they finished the top scoring duo was 2007 with 31 goals. 17 for Ronaldo and 14 for Rooney.
Oh, and that's not on the list now?
No, not in the top 10.
Okay.
This is according to Transfer Market.
Shearer and Sutton.
Oh, mate, it's a tap-in, surely.
Shearer and Sutton is a tap-in in the 1995 season, where Blackburn obviously won the Premier League. Shearer scored 34, Chris Sutton scored 15, 49 in total, puts them fourth on the list. Point for Duke.
We mentioned him earlier. I'll guess it. Suarez and Sturridge.
Suarez and Sturridge in 2014.
Yes.
53 goals combined, 31 for Suarez, 22 for Sturridge, second on the all-time list. Point for Dave.
I'm going to go York and Cole because it's got a lot 99.
York and Cole do not make the top 10. I can tell you, in 1999, they had 35 goals combined, 18 for York and 17 for Cole.
So I've got a theory here, but I've got to think of who the duo is. And if I don't
this is where it's interesting. They're not necessarily just strikers either.
Yeah, because I think if I get this wrong, dude, you could have a tap in here. Okay, I'm going to try Haaland and Mahrez.
What? They never played
Haaland
together?
and Mahrez.
Yeah, Mahrez was
Would
there
have
last
played
year.
together last season.
Oh, right, okay. I'm going to go for a
But
different
the
player
duo-
than Dave.
The duo is incorrect.
I'm going to go for Haaland and Foden.
Nah, sure.
Haaland and Foden, 2023. 47
I knew I'd give it away.
combined.
For some
36
reason,
for
I just
Haaland, 11 for
remember
Foden.
Morris scored quite a few goals last year, but at the same time, he
That
was.
confused me then.
Yeah. See, that's what you got to think. Someone that I was an absolute bagsman. Foden might have only got like 5-10 goals or whatever, but man.
Okay, how many got left,
Hmm.
man?
You've got 4 of the 10.
Okay, so is it Dave's go? Or we're just gonna call it.
Yeah,
It's your go, Dave.
let me have one more shout.
Okay.
You can just start shouting them if you want. Let's.
Okay. I'll let Dave take this one. I'll get the next one.
Salah and Mane.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Salah and Mane. 44 goals combined in the 2019 season puts them 10th on the list, 22 each.
Was the Haaland the top one? Did you say or not?
No, they were on 47, and
man.
you haven't got the top
There's
one
still
yet.
someone higher than that, dude.
So this is Premier League era,
Mm.
the first year of which was the 92-93 season. Just FYI.
I'm gonna go for Kevin Phillips and Niall Quinn.
Yeah.
The older listeners at home.
Kevin Phillips and Niall Quinn.
No.
Also 44 goals combined.
Oh. So is that out?
Same as
Wait.
Mane and Salah. Therefore, they
Okay.
do make the list in the year 2000. 30 goals for Phillips and 14 for
wow.
big Niall Quinn. Gets Dupe another point. You now have 4 duos remaining.
Okay, we're gonna start shouting them now, Davey.
So he said the first year in the Premier and United won the league that year.
We did.
That doesn't mean that they're from. I'm just saying that it's from
Oh,
from that
sorry.
year on. From that year
Oh,
onwards.
sorry. I thought you said there was
is-
a duo from
yeah.
that year.
I've got one more, Dave, in me, and then old, and then I'm gonna start thinking newer. So I don't mind taking one here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of league winners, and I can't. Did we say Henri and Bergkamp? Sorry, have we said that one?
Oh, I don't think we have.
I can tell you that Henri and Bergkamp together never topped the list. Never topped a season list.
Oh.
And we've done
I can
shit.
start throwing you some clubs or some years.
No, hang on,
You have
we've
one
still
more
got
go,
a few. Now, Andy Cole is definitely in this, and he's at Newcastle. What's the old fucking old geezer? Peter Beardsley.
Joelinton.
Surely
It's going to be Andy Cole and Peter Beardsley. He's banged that second or third season in that league.
Andy Cole and Peter Beardsley. 55
There you go.
goals
There you go.
combined. Granted, a slightly longer season when 22 teams
Yes.
are in the league.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't even think of that, to be fair.
Yes, 34 goals for Andy Cole and 21 for Beardsley. They topped the list, the highest goals in a Premier League season. But granted, a few extra games.
And I got one more, David, and I think I'm out, mate.
I mentioned him earlier,
3
Berbatov and Robbie Keane.
Berbatov and Keane are not in the list.
Yeah, go on, dude.
The only other one I want to go for is Van Persie and Wayne,
Yeah. Shout.
2013 season.
So it is the 2013 season, but they scored 38, which keeps them out of the top 10. 26 for Van Persie and 12 for Rooney that particular season. So
Yeah.
we've got
Have
3
to dash
duos
between
left. I'm going to throw you some clubs,
Okay, go on.
or am I?
I was like,
I'm going to throw you the
I do have a
three
thought.
clubs.
Let me
So
have a thought. Hang on, I got
three-
a thought.
Okay. Go for it.
You've done Mane and Salah. What about
Yeah.
Salah and Firmino?
You could try it, yeah.
Or
You asking me or
Mane and
Dave?
Firmino? No, I'm just. I mean, it's
Salah
now an
Salah
open-
would be the one. It would be Salah as the one.
So I'd go Salah and Firmino.
I don't think so.
I think we're a partnership now, Dave.
In 2018, Salah scored 32 goals. Firmino scored 15 to give them 47,
Oh, they're on it.
Salah
Then?
which is the
scored
same
32
as Haaland and
goals.
Foden.
Fucking hell.
Yes. And that puts them in at number 6 on the list. It's another point for Duke.
Shout out.
We are
Big
more
shout.
together now, though, to be fair. Right, let's work together on these
Fair.
last two, then, Davey. Come on.
So 2 more goal scoring duos remaining. One from 2017. Another from 2008.
2008.
2008. That was
United one. So it could
So
be
that could
Tevez.
be Tevez. Tevez and Ronaldo, because I'm sure Ronaldo, either Rooney or Ronaldo, wouldn't it?
Ronaldo won, scored a lot that season.
Let's go Ronaldo and Tevez.
2008.
Yeah, because I don't think it would be Rooney. So Tevez is probably
Ronaldo scored 31 goals.
Yeah,
Carlos Tevez scored 14 goals to give them 45 and puts them 8th on the all-time.
So the only other thing I did think, which is now not going to be because he said 2017, was like Torres and Gerrard was one that I was thinking of because they did have a bit of fun at the time.
Yeah,
but yeah,
2017.
No. Now it's 2017. Who did well 2017?
Mate, Aguero. We've not even said Aguero, have we?
We haven't mentioned Aguero.
It's going to be Aguero and someone.
Bernardo Silva. Did they play together? No, I don't think they did they?
Yeah, they would have played together. But I don't think... Who were that? Sterling, mate. Sterling and Aguero.
Yeah, go for that. Try that.
I can tell you, Sterling and Aguero together scored 27 goals that season. And they were not close to the duo that scored the most.
Yeah, what about...
they were 20 off.
Fucking hell. What about 2017's like prime Hazard? Just before he went to Real. Who was their striker?
Lukaku, no?
No, I don't think so. Was it not? Oh, it's Diego Costa.
Yeah, shout. Costa and Hazard.
Those two. Yeah, Costa, Hazard.
In 2017, Diego Costa scored 20, Hazard scored 16 to give them 36.
Oh, that's nowhere near.
Was still,
when he started reading out, I thought that was it.
Goals. Still 11 goals behind.
Okay, and this is 17. Right, so 18, a good season in 18. I'm trying to think. Oh no, 17. Who would have been good?
Vardy and Morris. Was that year?
I can tell you, Vardy and Mahrez was the year before.
Ah, come on.
They scored 41 goals between them. Yes,
and
24 for Vardy, 17 for Mahrez, but they're just outside on 40.
So who would have got the league the year after City again? Well, it's not Aguero. Or is it Aguero?
No, you guessed Aguero already.
Oh, then it's not Aguero.
You guessed City already. How's that?
It's not City. United, who would have been there then? No.
Liverpool would have still. Zlatan would have been there. It could be Liverpool. No, it wouldn't be. Chelsea, we've tried. What about Arsenal?
Lacazette and Aubameyang?
No. Oh, no. Lacazette wasn't there that time. But they had Sanchez, and Sanchez moved to United the year after. So that was the season that he was very good.
Sanchez and Aubameyang then? Was Aubameyang there?
I don't know.
Let's go Sanchez and Alexis Sanchez and Aubameyang.
Yeah.
So, the Arsenal duo finished second in that season.
Oh.
It was Alexis Sanchez on 24 alongside Olivier Giroud on 12.
Oh, Giroud.
So
my only thought, David,
still a duo ahead of them.
So it's not Arsenal.
And we haven't mentioned Harry Kane, but I don't know who would be his duo.
And it's not Son because I already said that.
What about Harry Kane and Eriksen?
Would you back that much?
I don't know.
Is that your guess?
I guess that. Who?
No.
He wouldn't put a nonce on there in Sigurdsson, would he?
20. You had so many paedophile mentions. I don't want to mention anymore. And I think Gylfi was actually probably at Swansea then. But yeah, I'm going to go for a left field shout, David.
Go on.
Harry Kane. Oh, no, it wouldn't be. He hadn't left then. Where had he left? Have they signed young? Oh, no. I'm stuck here. Do you want to give us a... Is it Harry Kane? First and foremost, is it Tottenham and Harry Kane?
So, in the 2016-17 season, the one we're on, a Spurs duo did top the list on 47 goals.
To be fair, we guessed everyone else.
Harry Kane scored 29 of the 47 goals.
So
therefore, his buddy scored 18 goals this season.
17. Yeah. Son was
16-17 is the season.
I know it is. It's got to be him. There's no one else.
Oh, no.
It's got to be Dele Alli. got to be Ali. There's no one else it
Dave,
would be.
who were you going to say?
Bale, but I think that's too late, isn't it, for Bale? It's going to be Ali.
No, yeah, I don't remember
I
Bale
think
and
it's Ali.
Kane actually playing together.
I think it's Ali. I think it's Dele Ali.
The correct
can only-
answer, which is easy to forget, is that it is Dele Alli. 18
Nice.
goals and 8 assists. That's
That is
Great shout.
mental, by the
Big
way.
shout.
mad.
I just
Great
trying to
shout
think
too.
of players that they played.
Yeah.
47
Like,
goals.
as soon as we like, that's why I ruled out Tottenham, because I just couldn't think of anyone else that they would have had. That sounds awful.
Yeah,
doesn't
because it was all the Kane
But,
show, yeah.
Yeah,
Just shows
yeah,
you.
just
Fall from
Harry
grace
Kane,
for
Harry
Dele Alli.
Kane, Harry Kane. Well, you know,
Mm.
he's had his problems, mate. So I don't want to say fall from grace because
True.
yeah. Okay, I don't think anyone won that quiz. I think the listeners at home screaming at the fucking monitors have probably won.
Dele
that
Alli
game.
won that quiz.
He did, and I hope to see you back on a football pitch, because I actually scored. I was at United versus Tottenham, quite close to where he scored that really good goal against us, and we won 2-1.
That was a ball.
And I just remember the whole 90 minutes was the first game back for Mourinho at Old Trafford, and they were just singing ole, 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 ole all 90 minutes. It was great. Anyway, that brings episode number 351 to a close. You can find each of the links for each of us in the podcast description or by visiting 5starpotential.com, where you can find all of our latest Football Manager content. Mad is live this week, and so am I. So get those links, click them, and come and say hello, because I don't know about Mad, but I find it a lot where a lot of people come in and go, I listen to your pod. I love it. Hello. I put in a name to a face. So come and see us. You can also see us over on YouTube, because 5 Star Potential is available on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, and most of our popular podcast apps and platforms, with a new podcast released every single week. Thank you all for listening. There'll be more from us next week. Say goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, folks.
That's not what I
Goodbye,
said.
ladies and gentlemen.
That's kind of what I said. Say Yaranara.